Very good morning, students. Welcome back to online session on programming for problem solving course. In our previous session, we have seen some of the operators from operator categories. Like we discussed the bitwise operators. So before the discussion, I have shown you because these bitwise operators we said they were going to be operate on a bit level of every operand. Whatever operand you are supplying, first it will convert those operands into bits and then it will operate on those bits. So for that discussion, we have seen how we can convert a given operand value into the bit level, isn't it? How we can convert the given operand value into bits. That we have seen. So in that conversion process, we said whatever number system we follow in our day-to-day life, we call that number system as a decimal number system, and whatever the number system the computer will follow, we call that number system as the binary number system. So there is always a need to convert the decimal numbers into binary numbers and the vice versa. Vice versa is nothing but binary numbers back to decimal numbers. So for the whole numbers, we have seen this conversion process. I mean, how we can convert the whole binary number, whole decimal number into binary and back to decimal. That conversion process we have seen, isn't it? So we said all decimal numbers, they are base 10 numbers because we have 10 digits to represent the decimal numbers, and all binary numbers, they are base 2 numbers because we have only 2 digits to represent the decimal number, sorry, binary numbers, isn't it? This discussion we had in our last class, and we came to a situation where I told you, I promised you that the rest of the concept we discussed in today's class, that is the first situation when how we can convert a negative number into binary number, conversion of a negative number into binary number, and same thing for what we call the decimal, I mean the fractional parts. Same thing for fractional part, how we can convert a fractional decimal number into binary, and a fractional binary number into decimal. The process we have to discuss in two ways: conversion from binary to decimal and decimal to binary. Okay, likewise. So uh, yeah, in this session we will be discussing about how we can convert the given negative decimal number into binary, and the same thing back into decimal, how we can do that one. So to understand that concept, we have to understand a 2's complement. Okay, this particular concept is helpful in order to represent the negative numbers into binary form. So what it is? It is 2's complement. We call it as 2's complement. So how we write it? Simply put 2 apostrophe s, 2's complement. Okay, complement. So generally we need to find out the 2's complement of a given number in order to get the negative value of that number. In order to get the negative value of that number, simply find out the 2's complement of that number, and the number will be in negative form. Okay, and the number will be in negative binary form. So let us say we have minus 3. What we have? Minus 3. In decimal we have, and I want the equivalent binary number of this one. Okay, equivalent binary number. So what we have? Minus 3, and simply I want that number into binary. So first what we do is we take this negative 3, minus 3 as 3 only. Okay, minus 3 as 3 only, and find out the 2's complement of that number. Find out the 2's complement of that number. Then that 2's complement is nothing but the negative representation of that number. Negative representation of that number. So first what we have to do, take, I mean in simple way I will make you understand this thing. First take 3. Okay, take 3 and find out the binary equivalent, and find out the binary equivalent. So what it is? Binary equivalent. How we can find out the binary equivalent of 3? Binary equivalent of 3. How we can find out the binary equivalent of 3? Simply use that LCM of divisor, division, perform the division operation with the help of 2, and you will get the binary equivalent for 3. So how come? Take 3, okay, take 3 and start dividing that number with 2 unless you get uh, the unless this number gets strinked, or unless we get nothing over here. So how come? 2 ones, 2 ones, 2, the remainder will be 1. So go in this way, so that will give the binary equivalent. So we said this number, whatever numbers we are taking, that number we have to represent using 8 bits, isn't it? That number we have to represent 8 bits. So when you are getting 1 1, the remaining 6 bits you have to put zeros. Okay, so 3 in binary will be 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 zeros followed by 1 1. So this is the binary equivalent for 3. So this is binary equivalent for 3. So now what I have to do, I have to find out the 2's complement of this number. To get the negative number, negative 3, what I have to do? Simply whatever binary value you got, find out the 2's complement of that number. Okay, find out the 2's complement of that value. So finding the 2's complement, it is very easy. Okay, finding the 2's complement, it is very easy. First of all, what we have to do? Invert all these bits. Invert all these bits to complement. Okay, invert all these bits. So what we have here, inverting is nothing but if you have 0, you will get 1 in the result. If you have 1, you will get 0 in the result. That is inverting all the bits. So as I have 0 over here, I have to invert that bit and I will get 1, 1, 1. Then 3 more ones. Okay, all ones, all zeros will become ones and all ones will become zeros. Okay, like this. After doing like this, add 1 to it. Add 1 to it, then you will get the 2's complement of that number. So add 1, adding 1, you will get 1 0 and then followed by 6 ones, like this, isn't it? Okay, 6 ones. So this is your negative 3. This is your negative 3, minus 3, I can say. So what we have done, first we have first we found the binary equivalent of 3, then we performed the 2's complement to get the negative value of 3. So in this way we represent negative numbers in binary form. So see, when you are performing this addition over here, so there is one important rule that you have to understand. So if you are adding 0 0, if you are adding, if you get both 0 zeros over here in addition, then it will be 0 only. It will be 0 only. If you get 0 1 or 1 0, like this, if you get 0 1 or 1 0, you will get 1 1. In both the cases, you will get 1 1 only. If you get 1 1, okay, if you get 1 1, this 1 1 is 1 0. Okay, like this. If we put carry 1 and we put 0 here, like this, 1 1 is 1 0. Remember this one, 1 1 is 1 0. Okay, 1 1 is 1 0. We put carry 1 and 0 over here. So this, to understand, I will take one simple example. Okay, I will take one simple example, I will make you clear with this one. So let us say if we are adding two binary numbers and we are doing like this, 1 1 1 0 and 0 1 1 1. Okay, 0 triple 1, we are adding like this. So what you will get here, this is what? Okay, 1 0, it will become 1 only. 1 1, it is, as I said, 1 0. So you have to put carry 1 and you have to put 0 over here. So this is triple 1 you are getting. When you are getting three ones, the value will become 1 1. Carry 1 and the value also 1. So you put 1 over here and you put 1 over here, like this. And finally we have 1 1, so this will become 1 0. So this is the final value. This is the final value. So once again, so same thing I'm writing, triple 1 0 and then 0 triple 1. Triple 1 0 and 0 triple 1. When you are adding 1 0, 0 1, it is 1 only. 1 1, carry 1, actual value 0, and 3 ones when you have, you will get actual value 1 and carry 1. Okay, and finally you have 1 1, so it will be 1 0, like this. Like this you have to do the binary addition. Okay, binary addition, in this way we perform. So as we got over here, all when we inverted all ones and finally 0 0 we got, and when you are adding 1 to it, it will become 1 0 all ones. So this is the minus 3. Minus 3, how we represent, in the sense like this we represent. So what we wrote over here, what we have to write over here is that same complete value you put over here. This complete value you put over here. What are all here? Triple one, triple one, 0 1. So triple one, triple one, 0 1 in binary. So negative minus 3 in decimal. The binary equivalent is this much. So we'll take another example and we'll do it. So minus 7. Minus 7 I want in binary. I want in binary. How we do it? I want in binary. How we do it? It is very simple. Again, what we have to do, find out the binary equivalent of 7. Okay, binary equivalent of 7. So simply divide with 2. 3's remainder 1. Then 2 1's remainder 1. So go in this way and write all the numbers. So 3 digits we have. So in 8 digits 8 bits we represent, 3 bits we have here. So remaining 5 bits add zeros. Remaining 5 bits, what we are doing? Adding zeros. Then 1 1 1. So this is equivalent for 7. This is equivalent for 7. So to get minus 7, what we have to do? Calculate the complement of it. Calculate 2's complement of it. How we calculate 2's complement? Simply invert all the bits. So inverting all the bits, you will get 1 1 1 1 1, then 3 zeros. Then 3 zeros. Then add 1 to it. Add 1 to it, you will get 1 0 0, then 5 ones. 1 1 1 1 1. This is your minus 7. This is your minus 7. So I hope you understood how we are representing negative numbers in binary form. Okay, so the value over here is 1 2 3 4 5, 2 zeros, 1 in binary. This is negative. Here you can see the sign bit is, if the sign bit is 1, then the value will be negative value. If the sign bit is 1, the value will be in negative. The value will be negative value. So whenever you are performing NOT operation or XOR operation in your bitwise operators and you are getting the sign bit as 1, means that number indicates the negative number. That number indicates the negative number. Okay, so bitwise, yeah, after this we have to understand how we can convert a number into, how we can convert a fractional number into binary, and how we can do the reverse of it. How we can do the reverse of it. So quickly, I will take one a fractional number with decimal places, number with decimal places. So let us quickly take, it is an important example. Okay, many times they asked this example for 2 marks, so I suggest you to practice this one. Okay, so first we have 59. I'm taking 59 decimal point followed by 59.65625. 65625. You can take any random number and you can do the practice, and it is in decimal, and I want the binary equivalent. I want the binary equivalent of this whole number. So to do this, what we have to do is, yeah, this is having 2 parts. First the whole number part, and second the fractional part. Second the fractional part. Okay, we convert this decimal number into binary. I mean, first we convert the whole number, then we convert the fractional part. That is, whole number separately we do and fractional part separately we do. Okay, first I am converting this whole number. Whole number conversion we already know. 59, simply take, okay, control Z, okay. 59 simply take with 2. 2 2's 4, 1 will remain, and 19. Okay, 2 9's 28. 2 9's 18. So now how much is remained? 1 is remained, isn't it? So see, 2 2's 4, 1 will remain, 1 9, that is 19. It will become 19. Then 2 9's 18. So 18 in the sense 19 minus 18, still 1 remains. Okay, then perform with 2 once again. 2 1's, 2 4's. Okay, again the remainder is 1. Then 2 7's, the remainder is 0. Okay, then 2 3's. If you do 2 3's, then the remainder is 1. Okay, 2 3 is 6, remainder is 1. 2 ones, remainder is 1. 2 ones 2, remainder is 1. So now you write in this way. So what will be the whole number? Okay, 59 equivalent of binary. So 3 ones 0 double 1. So this is the binary form of the whole number. Okay, 3 ones 0 1 1, triple 1 0 double 1. It is the binary equivalent of 59. So after decimal, we have to convert this fractional part into binary, and that we have to write. So conversion of the fractional part, you take this, we have already done now. So 0.65625, like that you take 0.65625 and multiply this with 2. Multiply this with 2. Then what you will get? 5 2's 10, carry 1, 2 2's 4, plus 1 5. Okay, 6 2's 12, carry 1. Then 5 2's 10. 1 second. Okay, first we got 5 2's 10, carry 1 0, 2 2's 4 plus 1 5. There is no carry now. 6 2's 12, carry 1 to here. Then 5 2's 10 plus 1 11, carry 1. 6 2's 12 plus 1 13. Okay, 13. Now after how many points, how many numbers I have to put the decimal means after 5. So here after 5 put the decimal. So when you are getting a whole number, part to this fractional part, simply take it as carry. We call it as the carry. Simply take it as carry. So how much the carry over here? Carry is 1. Like this you write carry 1. So when you took the carry, again the number will become 0.31250. Multiply with 2 once again. Again you multiply with 2. So now what will happen? Again 2 0 0, 2 5's 10, 0 here, carry 1, 2 2's 4, plus 1 5, 2 1's 2, 2 3's 6. Okay, then 2 0 0. After 5 digits you put decimal. After 5 digits decimal. Okay, again here there is no carry. Simply put 0 over here because we didn't get any carry. So as you're not taking any carry, again the number will become same, 0.62500 multiplied with 2 once again. So again 200, 200, 2 5's 10, 0 here, carry 1, 2 2's 4 plus 1 5, 2 6 12. Okay, 2 6 12. Then after 5 put the decimal. After 5 digits put the decimal. So now here we got the carry. So write down that carry. 1 you will get. Okay. Then after taking the carry out, then 0.2530, like this. Again you multiply with 2. See, like this you have to do until and unless you get zeros, all zeros, or the same number is repeating. So here we got 625, right? Here we got 625. Again, after performing the multiplication, at some point over here, 0.625, like that if you get, there only you have to stop. Okay, two cases. Either all digits will becoming 0 or the number getting repeated. If the number getting repeated, at that point also you have to stop. So here, yes, 0.25000 we are getting multiplied with 2 now. Okay, 200, 200, 200, 2 5's 10, 2 5's 10. So 0, carry 1, 2 2's 4 plus 1, 5.200. Okay, already I kept the point after 5 digit. So here there is no carry, so simply put 0. Okay, again take 0.540 multiplied with 2. Then you will get 200, 200, 200, 200, 5 2's 10. Carry 1, 0 here. Then 20 plus 1, 1 you will get. After how many digits? After 5 digits you put the decimal. So again we got the carry. So after taking this carry, we got all zeros, 0.00000. See, one important thing. Here when we are converting the whole number into binary, we are going from bottom to up. We are going here from bottom to up we are going, isn't it? But over here we go in reverse. We will come from top to bottom. Will come from top to bottom. Here we are going bottom to up, and here will come top to bottom. So the decimal, I mean this binary equivalent of this decimal part, whatever decimal part we started, that is 0.65625. This numbers, this fractional parts binary equivalent is what it is. So we have to start from top. So 10101. So that you write here. So 10101. Okay, we started from top, 10101, 10101. So like this you can remember. So this is the binary equivalent of your 59.6265625. So here we have the number. So what is the binary equivalent of this number? What is the binary equivalent? What we said? So it is very simple. You write down the same number over here. 111 decimal point 10101 in binary, like this. Like this you have to convert the given binary number into given decimal number with fractions into binary with fractions. Like this you have to convert. Hope you understood. It is very simple. Okay, it is very simple. Just the logic, the whole number part we are doing separately. Okay, and when you are doing that, simply consider it as the whole number and perform the division with 2, and every time you write down the carries, whatever you are getting, ones and zeros. Simply from bottom to top you write down all those binary digits to get the binary equivalent of the whole number. Then the decimal part or the fractional part, simply multiply with 2, and when you are multiplying, whenever you are getting the whole number, simply write down that whole number as a carry, and if you are not getting any whole number, simply write down the carry as 0. So repeat this repeat this multiplying with 2 step until and unless you get all zeros, or the same number repeats twice, or if the same number repeats twice. So at that point you have to stop the process, and you have to write all these bits from top to bottom. Unlike bottom to top, you have to write top to bottom. All these digits, all these binary digits, you have to write from top to bottom. Binary bits you have to write from top to bottom. That's it. Okay, so this is conversion from fractional decimal to fractional binary. So next thing is fractional binary to fractional decimal. Okay, fractional binary, the vice versa. Whatever operation we performed just now, the reverse of that operation, that is fractional binary to fractional binary to uh, fractional decimal. So here what they will do, they will give you a fractional binary number, and we have to convert that number into fractional decimal form. Okay, fractional decimal form. So let us take one simple example, one simple number. You can take more complicated and you can do the practice. For understanding of the logic, I am giving one simple number here. Okay, let us say the number, given number is 11 dot, okay, 11.101. Okay, 101 to the base 2. Okay, what number they have given? 11 decimal point 101. It is in binary form. So what we have to do, we have to find out the equivalent decimal form. Equivalent decimal form. So simply, as we do with regular binary numbers, to convert them into decimal numbers, we write all those numbers separated, isn't it? We write all those numbers separated. So first you write 1, then you write another 1, then you write another 1, then you write 0, okay, 0, and finally you write 1. So like this, just write all those numbers separated, and then do the multiplication with 2. Okay, so how we do the multiplication, in the sense, you take the decimal, I mean where it is having. So here we are having the decimal in our number, actual number. Here we are having the decimal. Write down that number like as it is. So then, yeah, whenever you are writing the number, simply write like this: multiply 2, sorry, multiply 2, multiply 2. Here also, yeah, after this decimal you have to write the multiplication this side: multiply 2, multiply 2, and multiply 2, like this, and add plus in between. Plus, here also you add plus, 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 like this. Then what you have to do is, here we go in that same way. 0, I mean two powers we have to write, isn't it? 0, 1, like this we write the powers. So here we have to go, I mean in the whole number part you write like that only, 0, 1. In the what we call precision part, in the fractional part, you go here, we had 0 already, right? So here you go like this, -1, here -2, here -3, like this you go simply. Okay, near the decimal point we put 0, and this side all positives and this side all negative powers to the 2, like this we give. Okay, then convert the number. Okay, then start converting the number. 2 power 1 multiplied with 1 in the sense 2 only, plus 2 power 0 multiplied with 1 in the sense this is 1, multiplied with 1 you will get 1 only, plus now ignore this point. Okay, ignore this decimal. This decimal we use only to give the powers. After that it is meaningless over here because we had all operators now. So add plus, then this will be 1 multiplied with 1 by 2, that is 1 by 2 only, 1 by 2, then plus this 0 multiplied with 2 power minus 2, that is 2 power minus 2, it will become 1 divided by 4, but when you multiply that with 0 you will get 0 only, 0 only, plus then 1 multiplied with 2 power minus 3, 2 power minus 3, that is 1 divided by 8. So 1 multiplied with 1 divided by 8, you will get 1 divided by 8 only, like this you will get. So then 2 plus 1, it will become 3, plus, let me just give some time. So here this is 3, plus this is 1 by 2 in the sense this is 0.5. Okay, plus this is 1 divided by 8 in the sense this value is 0.125. You can use the calci and you can calculate this value. Okay, 1 divided by 8 in the sense 0.125. If you add all these things you will get like 3.625. 3.625. This is the final value. Okay, the binary number 11.101 in decimal, how you will get in the sense, in decimal you will get like this, 3.625, 3.625 to the base 10, to the base 10. So in this way we can convert the fractional binary number to fractional decimal number. In our previous example we have seen the vice versa, that we have converted a fractional decimal number into fractional binary number. So here we converted fractional binary to fractional decimal. So negative number representation, simply calculate the 2's complement of that number, you will get the negative number. Hopefully you understood this concept. So now we'll go to our slides and we'll see what we have over there. I mean, to what extent we discussed and still what we have to discuss, that we see. So over here, yeah, we completed all this concept and we started the concept of operator categories, and in that also we discussed arithmetic, relational and logical, and we are in the discussion of bitwise operators. So I'm going to that bitwise operators now. See here, logical. Now these are bitwise. In bitwise and we discussed, bitwise or we discussed, and then we have to discuss, we said we have to discuss bitwise XOR, bitwise left shift operator and right shift operator, and bitwise NOT operator. These three things we have to discuss. Okay, so the first one, bitwise XOR we discuss. XOR, what we said, whenever we have both I mean bits differently, whenever we have both bits differently, we'll get true. Okay, if we have both bits as same, we'll get false. When we get true, when we have different bits, we will get true, and when we get false, when we have same bits, we will get false. When we have same bits, we'll get false. When we have different bits, we'll get true. So here, to represent that one, again I will go and I will take a simple example. See, yeah, first we'll go to the code and we'll see that same operator how we can do. Okay, open bitwise we practiced, right? Bitwise. So this is the code. So here what we have, yeah, int a value as 3, I have 2 I have taken, and now I will take another value, int b as 3. Okay, b as 3. I took c to store the result, and now what I am doing, 2 XOR with sorry, a XOR with b. Okay, a value is 2 and b value is 3. So we are simply doing the XOR operation between 2 and 3. Okay, So 2 and 3, now you see the output, what we are getting. And I will explain that output. How we are getting that output, I will explain. So here we are getting the value as 1. We are getting the value as 1. Why we are getting that value as 1 in the sense, we need to discuss. I mean, we said this bitwise operator, it will operate at bit level. Isn't it? A value 2, B value 3, you remember. So what we gave? A value as 2 we gave. And B value as 3 we gave. B value as 3 we gave. So now we have to convert this 2 into binary, this 3 also into binary, and then we have to perform A XOR B. A XOR B. So what is 2? 2 is 1 0, isn't it? 1 0. And how many? I mean, we said all operations we perform at 8 bits. So how many zeros we will get here? We will get 6 zeros here. So like this, we will get 6 zeros followed by 1 0. 6 zeros followed by 1 0. Then 3 means 1 1. Okay, again here also we will get all zeros. Okay, all zeros. So now what we said, bitwise XOR operator, bitwise XOR operator, XOR we write like this, and the operator is this one, bitwise XOR operator. Same bits, if you have same bits, you will get 0. You will get 0. Different bits in the operation, different bits, you will get 1. So over here we have 0 0. We'll start from this side. Here 0 1. So 0 1 means different bits. Here we have 0, here we have 1, different bits. So you will get 1. So then 1 1, same bits, 0. 0 0, again same bits, 0 0 0, 3 more zeros. So like this. So this 8 bits we got all zeros, 7 zeros, and followed by 1. This is decimal equivalent 1 only. Binary and decimal will have same thing. Okay, for 0 and for 1 will have the same thing. So if you have like this, this is 1. This indicates 1. So that is the reason why when you perform the operation between A and B, you got 1. So we'll take some complex and we will try to understand. So instead of 2, let us say I have taken the A value as 7. I have taken the A value as 7 and B value as 3. I saved the program. Now I am doing compilation and doing execution. Simply to check what value we got. We got 4. How we got that 4, I will explain. How we got that 4 in the sense, simply go again here and delete this thing, because B value same we kept, 3 only we kept, but A value only we are changing. So this thing I will delete, and result also I will delete. Okay, result also I will delete. So now A value, what we took it like 7, isn't it? We took it like 7. 7 means 3 ones. Yes, 3 ones. 7 means 3 ones. So like this. Then remaining 5 bits we have to put zeros. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so this is something, adding zeros before the number will not change the value. Adding zeros before the number will not change the value. So here if you have written 1 like this, 0 1 means it is same only in decimal. 0 0 1 means it is also same in decimal. But adding zeros to the right side of the number will increase the value. 1 means normal 1. If you put 0 right side, it will become 10. Again, one more 0, 100. One more 0, 1000. One more 0, 10,000. Like this, the value will increase. So adding zeros to the left side of the 1, there is no change. So that is the reason why I've simply added zeros without any meaning. Okay. So now 1 1, 2 same bits. You will get what? You will get 1 only. Okay, same bits, sorry, 0 only. 1 1 same bits will get 0. Again 1 1 same bits 0. Then 1 0 different bits 1. And rest of all we have zeros. In both the places we have zeros only. So same bits you will get zeros only. 5 zeros you will get. 5 zeros you will get. This is what? To know this one, yeah, to convert this one into decimal, write down 0 multiplied 2 plus 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 1 multiplied 2 plus 0 multiplied 2 plus 0 multiplied 2. So now put the powers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and finally the 7. So all these things, 0 multiplied with something, it will be 0 only, plus here also 0, plus 0, plus 0, plus 0, plus 1 multiplied to power 2, that is 4, plus 0, plus 0. The final value, when you add all these things, you will get 4. So that is the reason why when you performed A7, B3, A XOR B, you got 4. C equals to A XOR B, we are performing. And C is equals to 7 XOR power 3. Okay, XOR 3. We got 4. 4 as the result in the output. This is the reason why we got 4 as output in result. So compile. As you can see, when you execute, you will get 4 over here. So this is the reason why we got 4 in our output. Hope you understood this one. So the next thing, after bitwise XOR, we have the shifting operators. Bitwise left shift by number of bits, bitwise right shift by number of bits. So what this left shift and right shift will do? See, the pointing, the arrow point, you have to remember when you are using less than, greater than, the arrow point, where it is pointing, that you have to remember. If it is pointing towards left, that is bitwise left shift operator. If it is pointing towards right, it is bitwise right shift operator. Okay. If it is pointing left, bitwise left shift operator. If it is pointing right, bitwise right shift operator. As you can see over here, yeah, this arrow this less than, two less than symbols. Okay, how we frame this bitwise left shift in the sense two less than symbols. Okay, it is very simple, two less than symbols. So when you write two less than symbols, to which direction they are pointing? Okay, their angle, to which direction it is pointing? It is pointing towards left. So it is a bitwise left shift operator. It is a bitwise left shift operator. Same thing when you are writing bitwise right shift, two arrows, they are pointing towards the right. So in this way you can remember these two operators. They are pointing towards right. So it is a bitwise right shift operator. In this way you can remember. So this operator also, it takes two operands. Left shift the bits of the first operand, and the second operand decides the number of places to shift. Okay, it simply shifts the bits. It simply shifts the bits by the number of times. Okay, how many number of times you are saying, that many number of times it will shift, and the value which comes out of the places, it will get discarded, and a new zero will get added at the left side place and at the right side place. It is very simple to understand if I do it practically. So first I will show you bitwise left shift and bitwise then I will show you bitwise right shift. So bitwise left shift, how we have to do, take two sorry, this is left shift, right? I said so in this direction, left shift. So bitwise left shift, like this we write, and how we perform. So take the example a, integer a, and value initialized to 3, like this, value initialized to 3. Then yes, take another operator, int operand c. Okay, now c is equals to a. Okay, a value, perform left shift operation on this a two times. How many times? Two times I am performing. What operation I am performing? Left shift operation I am performing on a. A value, perform two times left shift operation. Why two times? Because I have specified over here, and it is a binary operator. It is taking two operand. One is a variable and one is a constant. So this two, it indicates we have to perform the shifting operation how many times? Two times. So it is very complex thing. You just try to focus. So first what we have to do, convert this 3 into binary. So 3 in binary, you will get 1 1. Okay, you will get 1 1. So then all 6 zeros you have to add, 1 2 3, then 4 5 6, like this. So now performing the left shift, what it is? It is left shift, left shift. Okay, bitwise left shift. This is bitwise left shift. Okay, bitwise left shift. Performing bitwise left shift, it involves you have to shift all the bits towards left direction. Okay, towards left. So this 0 will come over here, and this 0 will come over here, this 0 here, this 0 here. Likewise, all digits, all bits will be shifted towards right. All bits will be shifted towards left. Sorry, we are performing left shift. So all bits will be shifted towards left. So this 0, okay, the places will be fixed. You have to remember this one. The places will be fixed. Only the bits will be shifted. Only the bits will be shifted. So here you first fix the places. How many places? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this, we have fixed places, and this 0, it is crossing our places. It is crossing our places, so it get discarded. It gets discarded. This 0 gets discarded, and this 0 will come over here. See, I'm writing that 0 over here. So this 0, what we have to do? We have to discard. Simply don't consider. I'm writing over here. Discard. Okay, discard this 0, and this 0 will come over here. Okay, this 0 will come over here. 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 This 1 will come over here. This 1 will come over here. We have still one more place, isn't it? We have still one more place left, and add a 0. Okay, from nowhere, simply add a 0 over here. Okay, it is the rule. It is the rule. So what we have to do? Whatever leftmost bit we are having, simply discard that leftmost bit and add a 0 in the remaining place. So you will get an empty place over here. When we shifted all the digits, when we shifted all the bits towards left direction, we got an empty bit over here. That empty bit, what we did, we filled with a 0. From nowhere we took one 0 and we added 0 over here. This is the rule. This is the rule. Okay, so this rule you have to remember. When you are performing the shifting operation, the leftmost bit will get discarded and a new 0 will be added in the rightmost position. In the rightmost position. So this thing you have to remember. So now you convert this into decimal. You convert this into decimal. So all these zeros, they will become zeros only. So I will not consider them. Simply I will consider this last three digits. So that is 1, 1. Okay, like this you write 1, 1, 0 and multiply with 2. Here multiply 2, here multiply 2, here multiply 2. Add plus, plus. 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, and remaining all they will give zeros only to you. So 2 power 2 plus 1, it is what it is? 2 power 2 plus 1, it is 5, isn't it? Plus 2 power 1, this is 2 multiplied with 1, it is 2. Plus this is 0. So 5 plus 2, how much it is? It is 7. We will get like this, 7. So quickly we go and we see whether it is correct or what. Okay, so I think we have to add 1 over here, but let us just see. Let us just see what value we will get. So here what we said, we took the value like 3, isn't it? We took the value 3 and we performed left shift operator. So here remove this one. So C we took, and inside this we said perform bitwise left shift, and we said twice. So we performed only once, right? We performed only once here. So let us take this as 1 only. This as 1 only. Okay, simply remove this one and consider, only one time we are performing and we need to see the result. So only one time we are performing. So here you put only 1 and see the result. Print the value of C and see the result what you will get. So in our case we got 7, and here we are getting 6. Here we are getting 6. Maybe there is some issue with that. Okay, 2 power 2, sorry, this is 2 power 2 multiplied with 1. So this value is 4 only, right? So this value is 4 only. I have mistaken over here. So this value is 4 only. So 4 plus 2, you will get 6 only. 6 only. 4 plus 2, you will get 6 only. Okay, yeah, hopefully you understood this one. Hopefully you understood this one. Now I will take another complex example and I will try to solve that one so that you will understand this concept thoroughly. Bitwise left shift operator. Okay, bitwise left shift operator. So here once we performed, now I will perform twice. Okay, now I will perform twice but to a different value. I take some different value and I perform the bitwise left shift twice. Okay, take integer a as some 7 as my value, then take another int c, okay, sorry, int c, okay, then c is equals to take a, perform left shift twice. Perform left shift twice. Now I will calculate the final value after performing the bitwise left shift twice. Okay, so what is 7? 7 triple ones, isn't it? So take 5 zeros, 5 zeros, then triple one, 1 1 1. Okay, now fix the places like this. Like this, I am fixing the places. So it is better to write all these numbers like separated so that we will understand the concept clearly. So 0, separated 0, separated 0, separated 0, then one more 0, and finally 1, 1, 1. So now fix the places, fix their places. So here we are fixing the places like this. Okay. Now what we have to do? Shift. So this you have to shift like this, and this you have to shift like this. Okay. This will come over here. This will come over here. Okay. This will come over here. Okay. Again, this will come over here. So here also same thing. This will come over here. Finally, this will also come over here. So now what will happen? Simply, this 0 will come over here out of the place. So, and gets discarded. And gets discarded. So this 0 will come here. See the places what I have underlined, that is very important. This 0 we are placing here. This 0 it got discarded. This 0 it is coming over here. Now this 0 will come over here. Okay. Then this 0 will come over here. This 0 will come over here. And this 1 will come over here. This one will come over here. And this one will come over here. And this place left out, isn't it? This is a leftover place. So simply add a 0 from nowhere. 0 from nowhere. So now this entire thing is one time bitwise left shift. This is one time bitwise left shift. Only one time we performed. So we said perform twice. So what we have to do? Take these numbers once again down. So this 0, sorry, Control Z, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then we have 3 ones, 1, 1, 1, and one more 0 you take here. So now what we have to do? After this, again you fix the places. Fixing the places just to understand what bit gets discarded, what bit gets added likewise. So fixing the bits, then perform the shifting. So this will get shifted and discarded. This will get shifted over here. This will get shifted here. This will get shifted here. So this is the second time that we are performing the shifting. This will come over here and this will come over here, and finally this will come over here. Okay, so this 0 will get shifted and gets discarded. Okay, like this you put, simply it gets discarded. This 0 we are shifting over here. Okay, this 0 here at this place, this 0 under this place. Okay, this one under this place, then this one under this place. Because the concept is very important, that's why I am taking this much of time to explain this one. This 0 will come over here and another 0 will get added from nowhere, sorry. Okay, another 0 will get added from nowhere because we left out with one place, and that place we are filling with 0 from nowhere. This is the rule. Okay, so now what will happen? This entire thing I have to convert and I have to see whether we are getting the accurate value or not. So same thing I'm writing over here. 0 multiplied with 2 plus one more 0 multiplied with 2 plus another 0 multiplied with 2, then we have 3 ones, plus 1 multiplied with 2. I will simply take like this because here maybe I have my video. So 1 multiplied with 2 plus 1 multiplied with 2 plus 1 multiplied with 2 plus 0 multiplied with 2 plus 0 multiplied with 2. Now you add the powers. All powers you have to add. Add the powers here. 0 you start, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, 6, finally the 7. So all these will become zeros, isn't it? 0 plus 0 plus 0. Then 2 power 4 in the sense 2 2's 4, 2 2's 4, 4 4 16 this will become, plus 2 power 3 in the sense 8 multiplied with 1 8, plus 2 power 2 4 multiplied with 1 4 only, plus 0 plus 0. Okay, so what is this value? 16 plus 8 it is 24, plus 4 it is 24 plus 4 it is 28. You will get the final result as 28. Let's just quickly perform this operation and we'll see whether C value you will get 7 bitwise left shift twice 28 or what. We need to get 28. So go to the program and change the A value to 7. What we have to put? Change the A value to 7 and perform bitwise twice. Bitwise left shift twice. So now what I have to get? I have to get 28. So simply go compile and see the execution. Yeah, we got 28. As you can see here, we got 28. C value 28 we got. Okay, hopefully you understood. See, one simple logic I will tell you to remember this shifting process. See, whenever you left shift once this actual value, after performing left shift once, the value will get multiplied with 2. The value will get multiplied with 2. So after first shift, 7 multiplied with 2. What it is? 7 multiplied 2. Here we performed the first shift, right? So 7 multiplied with 2, this value is 14. If you convert this value 1110 into decimal, you will get 14. So then after second shift, again the 14 will get multiplied with 2. The actual value was 7, which we multiplied when we perform, I mean, if you perform the one time shifting, the value will get multiplied and you will get 14. Okay. Second time shifting, again 14, your 14 will get multiplied with 2 and the final value you will get like 28. Okay. Final value you will get like 28. So with every shifting left shift, with every left shift, your actual operand value will get multiplied with 2. Actual operand value or actual value will get multiplied with 2 with every left shift you perform. You remember this. You write down in a notebook if possible. With every left shift operation, okay, if you perform once the left shift, with every left shift operation, the actual value of the operand will get multiplied with 2. Will get multiplied with 2. Hopefully you understood. So quickly we go and we see what other things we have in our discussion. So bitwise left shift we understood thoroughly, clearly. Then we have bitwise right shift. Bitwise right shift operation. So how this values, I mean, bitwise right shift, it is exactly similar to the left shift operator. So yeah, I will take that operator over here, bitwise right shift. How this operator can be represented? Yeah, two greater than symbols. So it is pointing towards right. So this particular operator is bitwise right shift operator. Bitwise right shift operator. Right shift operator. Okay. So to perform this, take a value, integer a value as some 8 you take. Okay, control Z, 8 you take the a value as 8. Now take another variable int c. Now perform c is equal, sorry, Every time when I'm writing C, it is taking circle. C is equals to A right shift once. First we see once and then we see twice. With same value we see twice. Okay. So 8. What is the binary equivalent of 8? If you convert, you will get 1, 0, 0, 0. This is the binary equivalent for 8. So add how many? 4 more zeros over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more zeros. Fix the places. Fix, fix, fix. Like this. Fix the places. Now perform the right shift. Right shift in the sense previously we performed left side shift. Now you perform right side shift like this. So this will come over here. This will come over here. This will come over here. Like this. All the numbers will get, all the bits will get shifted towards right. All the bits will get shifted towards right. So now again this 0 will come over here and gets discarded because it is losing its place. As you can see, it is not having any place to keep here. So it is losing. So simply what we are doing, discard. If you don't have place to keep, simply discard it. Then this 0 will come over here according to our rule. This 0 will come over here. Okay. Then this 1 will come over here. Then this 0 will come over here. Yeah, here 0 like this. All the bits will get shifted. All the bits will get shifted. And finally, yeah, this place left out, isn't it? Leftover place will be filled with a 0 from nowhere. Will be filled with a 0 from nowhere. Like this, you remember. So this is only one time right shift operation we performed. Right shift operation we performed. So what is the value? What is our value? We got 1, 0, 0. We got 1, 0, 0. So this is something like, yeah, if you convert this value into decimal, yeah, if you convert this value into decimal, so 1 multiplied with 2 plus 0 multiplied with 2 plus one more 0 multiplied with 2. Like this we got. Okay. 1 multiplied with 2 plus 0 multiplied with 2 plus 0 multiplied with 2. Add the powers. 0, 1, 2. Rest of all they will constitute zeros only, because 0 multiplied with 2 we have to write. So they will become zeros only. That's why I'm not writing in my consideration. So now this value will become 4 plus this value will become 0 plus this value also becomes 0. So what is my final value? 4 I am getting. So you can observe this one. Whenever you are performing bitwise right shift, bitwise left shift, the value will get multiplied with 2 we said. Left shift, the value will get multiplied with 2 we said. But now when you are performing right shift, the value will be divided with 2. See here, the actual value we have 5 and the result we are getting like 4. The value will be divided with 2. Okay. In bitwise right shift operation, in bitwise right shift operation, the value will be divided with 2. The value will be divided with 2. In bitwise left shift operation, the actual operand value will be multiplied with 2. With each left shift operation, with each 1 bit left shift operation, the value will be multiplied with what? Multiplied with 2 in bitwise left shift. But over here with each right shift operation, the value will be divided by 2. Okay, the value will get divided by 2. Hopefully you understood this one. So quickly we go and we see whether whatever we got it is correct or not. That is, a value we have taken 8 and we performed the right shift once. So we have to get 4. That I will show you. So what I have taken a value as 8 I have taken, and I am performing once, not left shift but right shift like this you have to write. So bitwise right shift I am performing between a and c, between a and 1, between a value and 1. So that indicates perform the bitwise right shift only once. So now save the program and go and compile. Compilation successful and execute. You will get the result as 4. As you can see, we are getting the result C value as 4. That means the value will get divided by 2 in right shift operation. Perform the right shift one more time. Perform the right shift one more time. So what I have to do? Simply delete this thing. Okay, delete this thing and write down the bits as it is, whatever we got. So here what we said, how many times we are performing? We are performing 2 times. So that 2 I will write over here. So twice you perform. Okay, shift operation, twice you perform. So after performing one time shifting, what we got? We got like 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Like this we got. So now fix the places. Fixing places for all the bits. Now perform the shifting. Perform the shifting. This 0 will come over here. This will come here. Sorry. Here. And this will come here. This will come here. This to this place. To this place. To this place. Again to this place. Now write down the bits. Okay. This 0 will come over here. As it is not having any place, simply gets discarded. Okay, then this 0 will come over here in this place. This 1 will come over here. This 0 will come over here. This 0 will come over here. This 0 here. This here. And this here. And still one place left out. So we take 1 0 from nowhere. 1 0 from nowhere, outside world. So now what value we have? We have 6 zeros followed by 1 0. 6 zeros followed by 1 0. So all these zeros will constitute 0 only. So I'm not considering them. So I'm writing only 1 multiplied with 2 plus 0 multiplied with 2. Okay, 1 multiplied with 2 plus 0 multiplied with 2. So here this 2 power 0, this 2 power 1. So this is 2 power 1 multiplied with 2, 2 only, plus this 0 multiplied with 2 power 0, 0 only. So you will get 2. Again you can see. So here we got 4, isn't it? And here, sorry, control Z, and here we got 2. So again the value gets divided with 2. Again, one more time you performed the left shift, right shift, the value, again it got divided with 2. So finally you got 2 only. Finally you got 2 only. So simply to check that one, what I have to do? Here I have to do twice. Perform the right shift twice. So now go and see the value. We should get 2. Okay. We should get 2, and that we got over here, as you can see. That we got C value as 2 I got. That means how many times I performed the bitwise right shift? Twice I performed. In the first case, after performing one time, the value got divided with 2, so I got 4. After performing another time, the value got divided with one more time 2, so I got 2 now. Okay, I got 2 now. So that is how we perform the bitwise left shift and bitwise right shift operations. And believe me, it is an important question. Whenever you are performing this bitwise left shift, bitwise right shift operations, it is an important question. And bit level operation, all bitwise operators, it is very important. Many times they will ask you this question for LAQ, long answer question. Okay, so practice more on these bitwise operators. Practice more on these bitwise operators. So bitwise left shift, bitwise right shift, and XOR also we performed. And finally, the last operator which is left out, it is a NOT operator, bitwise NOT operator. So that thing to understand, I think I have given the explanation in my last class, but anyhow I will give once again, because we got the negative value over there. So there only I stopped, because negative representations we have not discussed. Binary value negative representations we have not discussed. That is the reason why I stopped there itself. So now what we have to do? Simply now we are discussing bitwise NOT. Negation symbol, like this symbol we use to represent bitwise NOT. Bitwise NOT operator. Bitwise NOT. So simply what it will do, it will shift all the bits of a given operator. It is a unary operator. It is a unary operator. So it will take only one operator, one operand to perform the operation. It is a unary operator. It will take only one operand to perform the operation. So now I'm taking int a value as 7, then int integer type C I'm taking, then I'm storing C is equals to not of A. C is equals to not of A. So now convert this 7 into binary. 7 binary, 3 ones, like this we will get, and add 5 zeros to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, like this. So after this, what the negation will do? If you have 1 inside your inside your operand, then it will become 0. Simply it will invert. If you have 0, it will become 1. It will simply change this 1 to 0 and 0 to 1. So over here, all 5 zeros will become 5 ones. When you apply the negation, all 5 zeros will become 5 ones, and all 3 ones will become 3 zeros. 3 zeros. So as your sign bit, this is your sign bit, as your sign bit it is going 1. So this means the result what we are getting, this is my result, isn't it? After applying negation on the actual number, this is my 7, and I applied negation on 7, so I am getting the negative value. What exactly that value? To know that one, what I have to do, I have to perform the 2's complement. I have to perform the 2's complement, because my sign bit over here it is 1. If the sign bit is 1, that indicates it is a negative number. It is a negative number. To know the actual value of the negative number, what I have to do? Perform 2's complement. 2's complement on this number. Perform 2's complement. I showed you how to perform the 2's complement. To get the 2's complement of this number, again, what I have to do? Invert all the bits. Invert all the bits, so I will get same number. Okay. So this is a negative number. This is not 7. This is a negative number. In the process of converting that, we are getting 7. Remember this one. This is not 7. This is a negative number. What it is, we don't know. It is a negative number, and what it is, we don't know. So how to know that number? Simply find out the 2's complement to get the actual number, to know the actual number, actual negative number. So here you have to confirm. Here you have to confirm that it is a negative number. Why it is a negative number? Because your sign bit is 1. If the sign bit is 0, it is a positive number. If the sign bit is 1, it is a negative number. So it is a negative number, we confirmed, and we are finding out that number. So in the process of that finding, we are getting 7 also. So this inversion, we have to invert all the bits. 2's complement in the sense, invert all the bits and add 1 to it. So I am inverting all the bits. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, then 1, 1, 1. Don't think that this is 7, negative 7, not correct. We have to add 1 also to it. Okay, adding 1 is pending. So after adding 1, what you will get, that you see. After adding 1, so 1, 1, we said 1, 0, isn't it? Then 1, 1, we said 1, 0. 1, 0. Then 1, 1, we said 1, 0. Then 1 will come over here. So then, yeah, the addition what we are performing, to this only we are performing. Don't consider the above digits. So this in between these two only we are performing the addition, in between these two lines. So 1, 1, we got 1, 0, 1, 1, we got 1, 0, again 1, 1, we got 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, and followed by 4 zeros. Followed by 4 zeros, like this. Preceded by 4 zeros, like this. Not followed, preceded by 4 zeros. Now convert this number into decimal. 1 multiplied with 2 plus 0 multiplied with 2 plus 0 multiplied with 2 plus 0 multiplied with 2. Like this we got. Like this we got. So now what it is? Add the powers. 0, 1, 2, finally the 3. So 2 power 3, it is 8. Plus 2 power 2, it is 4, 0. Plus 2 power 1, 2. 0 plus 2 power 0, 1 multiplied with 0, 0. So you got 8. So the result what we are expecting, it is 8 but negative. Okay, C should be 8 but negative. We will see whether we'll get the same thing or any different thing. If different thing means our calculation is wrong. Okay, what we took C value as A value 7 we took, and C we said we are simply performing negation on A. Simply performing negation on A. So save this, and we should get negative 8, minus 8. Compile this and run. As you can see, we got minus 8. We got minus 8. So our calculation, it is absolutely correct. So in this way, negation means invert all the bits. If your sign bit goes to 1, if the sign bit goes to 1, that indicates negative number. So confirm it as a negative number and calculate the 2's complement to get the actual value. So that value, whatever you are getting, simply put that sign minus. That's it. You will get the resultant number. Hopefully you understood. So shall we do one more example, because these things are very much taking time. Okay, so I guess it is done. Okay, you take another example and you practice it. Any example you take and practice it, and if you have any doubt you can ask me. Okay, so I will delete this one. So with this we have concluded all bitwise operators, and as I said, all bitwise operators, it is very important, and many times they will ask you 7 marks question, so you have to explain all these things: bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise XOR, bitwise left shift, bitwise right shift. With examples you have to show. Of course I have not given the examples over here, but in your exam you have to explain all these things with examples. That is the reason why write down all these things in your notebook. Okay, see, what I am seeing in you people is, you people are expecting the notes, I mean from here to here. Sir, many people they are asking, sir, for this answer from where to where I have to write. Simply kindly give the marking in the notes so that I will write in the assignment. What it is, you are not the kids anymore, you are not elementary anymore. You have already crossed all those, you have already crossed the intermediate also. Now you are at expert level, we have to say, at the graduation level. So try to act like mature people and try to frame the answer, because we can't expect the questions in your external exams. They will ask anything. So you should be ready. You should be in a position to answer all those things. Okay. So all examples, you frame it inside your notebook, running notes, and try to remember all this to write in your external exam. Okay, bitwise operators, as I said, it is an important question, and you can also expect this bitwise operator as a LAQ in your mid exams also. Okay, as an LAQ in your mid exams also. So bitwise not also we discussed, and this table you have to remember this particular thing. A, B, bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise XOR, bitwise NOT, how it will change the bits. Okay, left shift, right shift, you have to remember by your own. Okay, all bitwise operators I have demonstrated as well. Bitwise AND I have demonstrated, bitwise OR, XOR, NOT, left shift, right shift, all these operators we have demonstrated. So next thing, yes, this important points you have to remember. Whenever you are performing left shift and right shift, you should remember that negative numbers you can't do the left shifting and right shifting. We should not, because the result sometimes, not sometimes, result always it will be unexpected. So don't try to perform the bitwise left shift and bitwise right shift operations on negative numbers. Okay, the first point you can remember, the left shift and right shift operators should not be used for negative numbers. If any of the operand in a negative is a negative number, the result is undefined behavior. If the number is shifted more than the size of integers, the behavior is unshifted. So over there, for how many bits we are performing the shifting operation? For only 8 bits. So if you take 10 bits, then what will happen? All will become 0. All bits will become 0. So that is the reason why don't try to perform the bitwise left shift, right shift more than 8 bits if you are performing on 8 bit. If it is 16 bit, don't try to perform for 16 times. If it is 32 bit, don't try to perform more than 32 times. Likewise. Okay. So another point, another important point, I will just check how much time. It is almost more than 1 hour, so I have to conclude the class, conclude the session. So with this bitwise, I will conclude. Okay, the left shift, right shift operators are equivalent to multiplication and division. Already we discussed. The AND operator can be used to quickly check if a number is even or odd. I mean, this example we'll do in our next class. The bitwise AND operator, it is helpful in checking whether the given number is even or odd number. This thing we'll see in our next session, hopefully. Thank you very much, students.